make a mark, and then take that line all the way to the bottom of the page, and then about 3 fingers over as well, make a mark, and then continue that down the middle of the page. It's all right if it's not completely straight. And so let's try to think about an ELA. So I'm going to write ELA. So in ELA, when she's talking about writing different things, you've got what we call the race. And so we know that there's the R should stand for restate, and you should be writing this down. And we know the A stands for answer. So when you're trying to write something in ELA, we know that she wants you to have the first parts of race. So restate your answer. Well, in science, we just call that claim. And so I'm going to write science in my next column over. And that C is going to stand for claim. And when we're talking about a claim in science, all we're talking about is it answers a problem or question. So it answers a problem or question, and it has to be restated. Whoops. So restated or rephrased. And then I'm just going to skip a line and just draw this across. So the next part after, when we're talking about ELA, is the C in race. And that stands for cite evidence. And so when I'm talking about in ELA, we just don't even say cite evidence, we just assume that it is. So we just call it in science, the E stands for evidence. And it's basically, why should anybody believe what you have to say? Why should anybody take you seriously? Well, it's proof to support your claim. And most of you are fairly familiar with this from ELA, where you are going up into a paragraph or something and citing textual evidence. So instead of saying cite evidence, we just say evidence. So claim answers the question or problem. E stands for evidence. I'm just going to draw this so we got a little bit of a nice way to write. So again, we got R, restate your answer, that's the same thing as claim. C for cite evidence is the same thing as evidence. And then the E in ELA stands for explain. So explain what your thoughts are on it, why you think that. But in science, we just call that reasoning. So claim, evidence, reasoning. So the R stands for reasoning. And when we're talking about reasoning, it's basically the scientific explanation that connects your claim and evidence together. So say I asked you, what type of organism is a raccoon? You would say, my claim would be the type of organism a raccoon is an omnivore. Evidence could be something about what raccoons eat. So maybe raccoons eat berries and fish. And then my reasoning would be, my scientific explanation could be that raccoons, we know omnivores eat both plants and animals, so raccoons eat both plants and animals. So you would just say omnivores eat both plants and animals. And basically it's the how or why. And we will get into this a little bit more tomorrow.